The health workers at Kiruri suspected him to have liver, kidney problems, and peptic ulcers. Because of this, health workers used protective gear while attending to him. The relatives requested for his body, which they transported on top of a taxi to his village in Kansera, Mbende district. The same morning, the DPC and village chairman made efforts to intercept the commuter taxi and carried the body but failed to locate it. However, they were able to intervene to have a supervised burial conducted by the burial teams in Mbende. A sample from the deceased was taken off by the burial team, tested the same day, and returned positive for Ebola. On the 10th October 2022, early in the morning, the LC3 chairperson of Kiruma, Sub-Counter Msiwe Stephen, called the surveillance and security officers to inform them that he and the LC1 at Kansera, Mr. Banjirana, and the entire community had surrounded the family of the deceased and wanted intervention of the health workers. Immediate action was taken by the district leaders and health workers, and 15 people who had been in contact with sick people were picked from 3 homes and taken for institutional quarantine in Madudu for close observation. Institutional quarantine means you are quarantined under government control. Instead of being responsible and being told as a mature man that you stay in your home, don't go anywhere, because that would be home confinement, which can also work if people are responsible. However, 3 escaped before they could be picked for quarantine and are being psyched for by security assisted by their relatives in quarantine. The institutional quarantine is near the Madudu Health Center isolation facility. Twajira and Nzairwa belong to an extended family living in 3 homesteads in Chamuhingi, Ser, in Kansera village, Mbele district. They came from Congo several years ago and settled in Mbende district. I'm told that this same family recently, on the 1st of October 2022, hijacked a dead body of a confirmed Ebola virus disease case and performed traditional burial rituals in total disregard to the SOPs for managing dead bodies of confirmed cases. This same family was also hiding a confirmed Ebola case called Katushave Emmanuel, 49 years old male, who died on the 10th of October 2022, shortly before they were rounded off. The village where this family stays has so far lost 10 people to Ebola. I therefore want to direct as follows. This family must cooperate with the district officials and health workers. They should stop moving around, seeking treatment from witch doctors. I'm happy that the majority are under quarantine. Those who run away should come back for close observation, so that if they fall sick, treatment can be started early. Those who are in hiding should come out immediately and report health workers for proper follow-up. Because you see, the running has no meaning here. Once the virus has entered you, even if you fly, forget about running. The kauka is inside multiplying. And if you don't, but fortunately, this disease is survivable. because I was told by the, you know me, I like interrogating each situation. I was told that this disease kills mainly by high temperature. That high, the body is not supposed to operate at high temperatures. So if you have got very high temperature for a long time, then the organs are damaged. That's how it kills, I'm told. So I think what the doctors do when you go to hospital, they control the temperature. Then it kills also by losing body fluids. Amazi okugwamu mu mubiri by vomiting and diarrhea also. Maybe sweating also. So when you have those, you have high temperature, you have dehydration, what they call dehydration, losing the fluids, either through vomiting, through diarrhea, through sweating, and they are not being replaced. I hear that that's what damaging is there anything else that damages the virus is also multiply? Let's hear the minister.
Excellency, eventually, because the fluid volume is low, the blood supply to the major organs is impaired, especially the kidneys and the liver, and then you go into hypovolemic shock. But because of low blood supply, the organs also get damaged.
So the blood supply is improved by the fluids?
Yes, Excellency.
So therefore, although the interventions in the hospital do not kill the virus directly, but by stopping the lowering the temperature and by replacing the fluids you lose, it helps the body to remain able to fight. And the body can fight and win. So therefore, no Rachel Banange, okweranga kikulu nnyo, okweranga nti nali kumpi n'omusajja oyo yarwala niweranga lwokwita kweranga mu Luganda mwekiri okweropa okweranga izuru nyankole. Okay. Okweropa kikulu okweropa n'ogamba nti oyo muntu gwempulidde nti ali mu ddwaliro nali kumpi naye, ne bakugamba nti okay, oba wali kumpi naye gira sigala awaka, tikyetaagisa nakutwala mu kkuumiro lya kifo kya gavumenti gye bakuumira abantu, where they kunganya abantu. Oyinza kusigala makaago kasita otegeraganye n'abakulu ab'ebyobulamu. And then when you start getting sick, they keep checking after some time. If you get sick, they take you for other care now. Biri ebirala byonna bireme okutuukako, bakwatagane nabyo obudde bukyali. Temperature, okusesema, ekiddukano, okutuuyana, ebyo byonna bakwatagane nabyo. And then you have got a better chance of surviving, like these 20 who have survived. But when you run away, you are endangering yourself and you are endangering all your dear ones whom you're getting to. Kati abadduse balowooza nti kuloga biki ebyo bya kisirusiru. Tewali kuloga wano. Ate n'okuloga okwo nakwo sikulabanga kubanga lumu nasanga omuntu wange omuntu w'amaanyi wa movement w'obukiiko bwaffe omugenzi Konia ow'enakaziba ebimu bimuyita okuloga si malogo bulwadde kubanga omugenzi Konia afudde enaku zino si wala nnyo. Omugenzi Konia namusangawo enakaziba ekigere kyona kizimbye akitadde mu ntebe. Konia obadde ki nti bandoze bakuloze batya nti banteze etalo oba etalo kiki. Nalina abasawo bange nembayita nti chairman waffe bamuloze. Nebatunula anti gano si malogo. Buno bulwadde buleetebwa akawuka kamanyiddwa babuyita cellulitis. Bulina eddagala nti eddagala nawano tulina eddagala. Konia nawonerawo nibamuwa eddagala nawona. Naye ab'okukyalo bona abana movement ate bana movement si ba kibiina kirala. Tewalimu wa DP, tewalimu ebibiina ebirala ebitalengera wala. Bona bali bana movement ate balwanyi. Naye bona bali bakkiriza nti cellulitis kuloga malogo kumbe kawuka bacteria a well-known bacteria. Abasawo bange naye ndowooza guyinza kuba guli musango gw'abasawo baffe obutakwatagana n'abantu bandibadde bagenda ku radio endwadde ezo ezimanyiddwa ne bazinyonyola. N'olwekyo kino tewali kuloga wano. Eno virus emanyiddwa tumaze okugikebera. Bonna abafudde tumanyi ekyabatta bano 19. Abawonye tumanyi kyebaali balwadde. N'olwekyo mulekeraawo okuseketerera kaweefube waffe ow'okulwanyisa akawuka kano. Muli bino byakuloga tewali kuloga wano. The communities in the affected districts should understand that Ebola disease is deadly and spread through contact with someone who has symptoms. When you see somebody with symptoms or you develop symptoms, call the health workers to take you to the health facility in their ambulances. Do not jump on a border or a taxi because you will spread the infection to the ones transporting you. The symptoms of Ebola include sudden onset of fever, headache, general weakness, chest pain, pain on swallowing, diarrhea, vomiting, unexplained bleeding from any part of the body openings, e.g. ears, nose, mouth, eyes, anus. The health workers must use appropriate protective wear, gloves, aprons, masks, whenever they are examining patients, whatever they are suffering from. Please, health workers, gloves, aprons, masks. Please protect yourself. The witch doctors, traditional healers, and herbalists should not accept sick people, any sick people now. I don't want to say with the symptoms of Ebola what, because you don't know. No. Suspend whatever you are doing. And we shall have to put it in the law. Yeah. Advise them to call health workers for safe transfer to hospitals. Religious leaders should not accept sick people with symptoms of Ebola who come seeking for healing prayers. Abo nabo bali awo. Abanadini. To heal by miracle. By miracle. Miracle healing. Tunokwogera n'abamakanisa n'amakelezia. Okuwonya bakozesa ebyamagero. Miracle. So please, religious leaders, when you touch them, you will contract Ebola. Advise them to call health workers for safe transfer to hospitals. Katonda yatulagira mu kitabo ky'Olubereberye, Book of Genesis, establish dominion over nature. So medicine is part of God's work. Science is God's. These are God's laws. Border riders should be vigilant and not carry sick people with signs and symptoms of Ebola. Advise them to call for an ambulance. Kati muwulidde omulwadde bw'awulira alwadde ngeri eno gye tugamba ey'omusujja mu kifo ky'okugenda ku bodaboda kubira aba district bakuleetera ambulance yebe ekutwala. The security supporting the response teams in the district must be very vigilant and ensure no Ebola patients in treatment centers or contacts in the quarantine facility escape. In addition, they should dress up in protective wear and arrest contacts who refuse to be taken to isolation. I think in the future we may have to construct burglar-approved places where we can put such people. Okuteekawo ekikomera ky'emitayimbwa. We shall have to build it somewhere. We are going to construct it in Kampala here, so that if you, in the future, you disturb, in the future epidemic, tukuleta ne tukuteekamu ebyuma n'obeera omwo. There has been a lot of rumors and anxiety about confirmed cases of Ebola in Kampala City, specifically Kirudi Hospital. I would like to inform the general public that there is no confirmed case of Ebola in Kampala City. As I already indicated to you above, the people got in contact with, 24 of them, both medical and non-medical, I suspect. They are all known and they are under quarantine. This event shows you the possibility of Ebola erupting in Kampala if we are not vigilant and people remain defiant for medical advice. But the contacts are of the Kampala case are now all under control. In addition, because of the current epidemic, there are so many people reporting signs and symptoms similar to Ebola within Kampala and Wakiso. Several such alert cases have been tested, and the results have turned out to be negative. So there's some panic. Sometimes people just report panic. The Ministry of Health teams will continue to investigate any such cases and inform the public accordingly. So actually, all this confirms what I told you here when I spoke with you that time, that this disease actually, unlike corona, unlike even AIDS, is actually easy to deal with. Because you can hear, it's now almost 2 months. Because the first cases where people died quietly, according to my last report when I was here, was on the 6th of August. Those who died in the village, and they buried them there. And you can imagine from that time up to now, we are now talking about 54 cases. If it was corona, it would be a totally different case. Why? Because this disease doesn't go through breathing, as I told you here. It doesn't go through, even when there's contact, it is contact which goes to certain parts of the body. And you remember last time I told you that even if you have the virus, you are not infective until you start showing the symptoms. So all those shows you that this disease is easy to stop. But now you can see the main problem is caused by people who don't listen. Abantu abatawuliriza kuwabulwa. Bano abatoroka na veno na genderi, you can see. If they were just cooperating and listening, you would not have had the case of Chirudu. You would not have had anything in Ruero. Even of Nyangabu, it was taken there by these people. It was not the spread of the disease spreading. It was people recklessly transporting the disease knowingly when they are already sick. So otherwise it is easy. If we all know that Bunoburuade, Sidogo, and the only people who have got a chance of saving you are the head of the hospital. You can't be in a shrine or in your brother's house and you think you will get the attention, the care, the support that you will get in a government hospital? How will they control the temperature? How will you get intravenous fluids? And of what type? Do you know? Do they know? And who would be doing that to you safely? Because by touching you, they endanger themselves, even if they had the capacity to give you intravenous. They are not equipped to handle people like you who is sick. So please, mbega yiride abana Uganda mwena kino mukitegere nti buno bukafwiri buno bwe bulese ebizibu bino byonna. Mange yali mulokole buli yarabanga omuntu akora ebitalimu okutegeera ebyobutamanya yali agamba nti nokola ebikikafwiri like when we would drink milk without boiling it, that was bukafwiri. Or sharing a straw when people are drinking alcohol, bukafwiri. So this is bukafwiri now. Doing things which have no logic. And yet the logic is there, is well known. In conclusion, countrymen and countrywomen, I would like to appeal to you to remain calm and follow guidance from the health workers. I have seen on the TV that the people are bringing some vaccines. Now, those vaccines, I have not talked with the minister, but I think they should go to the health workers first. Health workers should be the ones to be vaccinated. Because they are the ones who are likely to be near. Meanwhile, stop shaking hands. Recently we had celebrations here. We got many visitors from outside, important people. I put out an order, no shaking of hands. You saw us at Kororo, no, there's no president whose hand I shook. Shaking of hands is not necessary. I don't know why people... When Corona was starting, the Archbishop of Canterbury came here. And I said, please, no shaking of hands. They were saying that I would get a blessing from the Archbishop if he shakes my hand. I said, no, the blessing can go through air. You just... Because God created us in His own image. We were created in the image of God. And God is a God of knowledge, not a God of ignorance. In the Bible, the 10 lepers, when they met Jesus, it is said in the book where it is the parable, the story is told. They stood far and shouted, Lord, have mercy on us. They stood far. It is in the Bible. You go and read it. They stood far and shouted because you can imagine 2,000 years ago, people knew public health, preventing spread of disease by social distancing. Yes. Go and read the parable of the 10 lepers. They stood far. To shake hands. So they stood far, and he threw the word through the air. He didn't have to touch them that miracle healing, you know. Yabaka okuonya. He threw the air the hearing and said, you are healed. You go and report to the priests so that you are healed. So that was social distancing 2,000 years ago. In conclusion, countrymen, countrywomen, I would like to appeal to you to remain calm and follow the guidance from the Ministry of Health workers. Our capacity to control the epidemic